Всем привет, дорогие зрители и подписчики. Вы на канале Кун Харахус. Меня зовут Егор, и мы продолжаем играть в... Воу, что это? Продолжаем играть в Genshin Impact. Как бы странно это не выглядело, но я сейчас это продолжу. Так, давай для начала мы соберем какие только возможно награды. Так, где-то у Катерины, по-моему, можно забрать... как ее? Скажи, я скажу. Награды за экскурсии, экспедиции его. Так. И снова отправим. Так, чтобы у нас в случае чего было из чего готовить всякие вкусняхи. Да, дальше. Нам надо сделать ежедневные задания. Ежедневные задания. На это обычно у меня уходит минут 15-20. Поэтому, если кто-то не хочет это смотреть, можете пролистать. Ядрить твою налево. А как мне сюда попасть-то? А как-то можно было, по-моему, подожди. Тут как-то можно было вот так вот сделать, да, по-моему, вот отсюда мы потом там перепрыгиваем, перелетаем, по-моему, да? Сейчас вспомним. Вот. Давно не играл, прям очень давно. Все, работа, командировки, короче, не было возможности зайти. Взял, короче, себе в отряд поиграть, попробовать Тигнари. Юньцзинь, кстати, мне дали. Тоже такая интересная. С копьем. Вот. Ай-яй. И хрена. Здоровья почти не осталось у нее. Да, блядь, тише, 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 тише. Да, эй, почему? Да, блядь. Не туда ты это делаешь. Где ты? Где последний? Все, исчез. Юньцзинь, я понял, почему много здоровья потеряла, потому что оно не прокачанное. Так, давай-ка... Я это очень зря сделал. Ладно. Так. Давай-ка возьмем свой стандартный состав. Только Лизу мы, наверное, поменяем на... А она с чем у нас? Я не помню. А с чем ты у нас? Оружие у тебя. Лук. Блять, я не люблю лучников. Вот прям очень сильно не люблю лучников. Мне прям с милишниками интереснее играть. У тебя что? О! А у тебя... Да, давай тебя возьмем. Ты у нас... Дендра, да. Давай попробуем. Так, отряд активирован, понеслась. Я люблю милишные милишных бойцов. Так. Сейчас я пока вспомню, как играть, как сражаться. Это, конечно, очень много времени пройдет. Ах ты ж собака. Иди сюда. Нет, теперь не иди. Да что ты, собака сутулая. Так, тебя наконец-то победили, а мне еще задание выполнять. Короче, вы идете нахер. Так, надо покушать. Так. И вон тех товарищей надо сейчас разъебывать быстренько. А, нет, подожди, не вас. Идите, вы идите в пене. Я пошутил. Все, идите нахер. Сейчас утонет, блядь. Ребята, идите в жопу, пожалуйста, отстаньте от меня, все. Все, я пошутил. Отстаньте от меня. Все. Здесь 13 монстров победить надо. Ты ж, блядь. Брось каку. Чё, где еще? Ёбаный в рот, как много всего происходит. Слышь? Колдовать завязывай, сука. Сука. Пошел нахуй. Все, я их победил. Так, лут забираем. Наконечники нам для кача нужны. Так, дальше. Да, это было нелегко. Внезапно. Поговорите с Лин-Лин. Кто это? Блин, Лиюэ мне перестает нравиться. Тупо из-за его вот этого постоянно каких-то закоулок по переулкам, вот этого всего, короче. Ну, давай, 4-4 плюс 7, нет, не так, просто пустая трата времени, что ты считаешь? Посчитаю, сколько кораблей вчера прибыло в гавань, сколько покинуло гавань, но числа никак не сходятся. Я целый день сочиняла стихи и совсем забыла о кораблях. Ненавижу эту работу, стоит мне начать делать записи об одном корабле, как тут же появляется другой, поэтому мне приходится считать и пересчитывать, а потом снова пересчитывать эти дурацкие корабли. На стихи совсем не остается времени. Придумала, давай ты поможешь мне посчитать вчерашние корабли. Мне нужно знать, сколько кораблей зашло в гавань, а сколько кораблей гавань покинула. У тебя же есть пальцы на ногах, кораблей не должно быть больше 20. Я знал, что не поможешь коллегам, был мне помочь, но, придумал. Трое ребятишек постоянно играют в доках, уверен, что они помнят все корабли. Но дети есть дети, поэтому подробно расспроси каждого, убедись, что их истории не противоречат друг другу. Сообщи мне, когда выяснишь точное количество кораблей. Ебать, загадки на логику начинаются, короче. Это сейчас выяснится, что один ребенок всегда говорит правду, другой ребенок всегда говорит ложь, а третий ребенок там еще что-то, не помню, как там это правильно работает. Короче, надо будет сейчас составлять. Так, мальчишки такие глупые. Привет, что-то вы делаете? Попробуй вспомнить, сколько кораблей было в гавани вчера. Я не помню, подожди, я думаю, что вчера в гавани шли 2 корабля. Это были очень маленькие корабли, они, кажется, неизливые. Ты все это запомнишь, а лучше запишу, чтобы ты не забыла. Все, почему, где же это тебе? Да зашло 2 корабля. Малыш Фэй. Так. Вчера в порт вошли 3 корабля. А потом пришли люди и стали разгружать эти корабли. Моряки попросили нас отойти в сторонку и не мешать. Больше ничего не помню, запишу. Знаешь, память у меня так себе. И мэн. Путешественникам привет. Сколько кораблей? Я помню, как вчера из порта вышел 1 корабль. Вчера утром я собирал чашечки лотоса для Фэй и Лулу. Мы любим чашечки лотоса. Мы увлекались, вернулись только вечером. Чашечка лотоса, значит, это было не зря. Записку не потеряю. Как говорит мой папа, без бумажки ты какашка, да? Это про другое. Так, и 1, 2, 3 у нас получается. Короче, показания ей разнятся, да? Ну, слушай, я ничего не могу... Да, поговорили, но... Толку-то от этого. Чё, блядь, почему в порт вошли 4 корабля, если их вошло... Ну, пускай 4. Окей. Я не знаю, как это работает, ну, пускай будет так. Потом выяснится в следующем задании, что мы неправильно посчитали, короче, и надо пересчитывать. И так сейчас оно до скончания веков, этот квест будет нам. Кстати, надо будет сегодня закончим этот. Вот эти сейчас ежедневные задания. Так, похиляемся. И надо будет искать эти кровоцветы. Нам надо будет, короче, в какую-то запретную там территорию, которую раньше у нас доступа, не было. А теперь у нас с рангом появился доступ. Ты чё, сука, делаешь, а? Ты чё девушек обижаешь, гад? Ничего не вижу. Сука. Куда ты полезла, блядь, дурында? Так тебе, сука, и надо, блядь. Полезла дурочка куда-то. Все, всех победили. Так, надо лут собирать. Пока он еще на месте. Да, блядь. Угу. Кстати, да, приготовить не помешало бы. Дуй. Молодец. Так, цыпленок. Угу. И голубцы. 12 штук можно аж приготовить. Охренеть. Ну, жрать нам обожраться, конечно, этим всем. Так, погнали дальше. Задание не то. Задание. Распространяя зло. Постоянно один и тот же квест с этим распространяя зло. Там тоже победить монстров. Ну, победим. Сейчас что делать? Где они там расположились? Угу. Ага. Ну идите сюда, суки. Так, а мы сейчас вот сюда вот прям по маркеру поэтому полетим вниз. Оп, так, тихо. Так, давай. Уху! Так, вот этого надо убирать быстрее. Он, сука, самый противнючий. Да куда ты полезла, дурень? Да. И этот готов. Так, есть. Мне послышалось, и сундук открылся. Послышалось. Так, забираем награду. Так, торжество просветленных. Осталось 10 дней. Угу. Что это? Очищение, громовая скорбь. Испытания какие-то. Короче, это я буду за кадром проходить, сразу говорю. Так, божественное мастерство. Коллекционирование. Ага, это тоже я за кадром буду, видимо, проходить. Так. Хварна. Хварна идет лесом пока что. Пусть шторм, нежданное гостье. Дань Слейв. Подожди. Манштатский рыцарь. Так, подожди. Завершите задание. Тестовые забеги. Аль-Хайтам. Хайтам, да. Кадзуха. Слушай, ну, это я тоже потом за кадром быстренько пройду. Я просто сегодня... У меня был большой перерыв в игре. Поэтому сегодня у меня один из первых дней, когда я играю так. И я сейчас вернусь через 1 секундочку. Короче, дело в том, что я хотел заняться Инадзумой, да, чтобы прокачать Сару. Но я почитал, что чтобы открыть Инадзуму, регион этот самый Инадзума, нам нужно закончить все задания архонтов. И я такой, да, как бы потом, ладно. А сейчас пока займемся тогда вот этими и тестовыми забегами. Тем более, что это обычно очень быстро проходит. Да? Так ведь? А потом займемся, наверное, Хварной. Ну, вот это, которая Хварна добра и зла, где надо с этими... Как они, блядь, называются? Ой, привет. Где пари эти летающие штуки. Вот где с ними надо разговаривать. Которые очень-очень любят болтать. Отлично. Сразу следующий тестовый. Так. Кадзуха. Ух ты. Ой.
Time to wind strider. Clouds high. The birds call.
Сейчас хотя бы просто награды соберем. Накруточку мне уже точно не хватит, потому что крутку я сделал. Я, кстати, не помню, я за кадром это делал, по-моему, да, или на записи. Ну, короче, если я это делал за кадром, я просто правда не помню, то мне дали вот несколько еще новых этих персонажей.
Come a little closer. Let's spark the...
Сейчас я закончу тестовые забеги и покажу, кого мне дали.
Fracture.
Guba, get them! Let the show be...
О, нихуя, он прям кулаками хлещет.
So sorry.
Come on, we can do it!
Да что ты, собака?
Let's dance!
Так, сейчас заберу награды и быстренько покажу вам тех, кого мне дали. Так, получить. Так, и теперь персонажи. Так, где ты? Так, Кирара у нас была уже. Вот, Юньцзинь нам дали. Ну нам только Юньцзинь, по-моему, и дали. Да, нам только Юньцзинь дали. И повторы были, по-моему, Кирара и кто-то еще. Да. Короче, вот Юньцзинь нам выпало. Так, сейчас я быстренько еще вот здесь вот все сделаю, потому что я что-то забыл. Эти награды забрать и в магазин зайти. У меня скоро 32 уровень, кстати, будет. Так, 125 у меня всего лишь камней, примагемов. Так, давай этих... Да ну, одну только взял, да? Так, и что? И посмотрим, сколько у нас... Две крутки у нас всего таких, да? 2 таких и 8 таких. Ну, что, ладно. Так, чайник. Чайник полная чаша. Давай пройдем это задание. Я не хочу пока, вот честно. Вот это я хочу. Красиво. Я не хочу заниматься сейчас заданием с Пари. Или Пари. Кто знает, я уже устал, я, наверное, и вы, наверное, устали у меня каждый раз от меня это слышать. Ну, я еще раз скажу это. Кто знает, как правильно ставится ударение, пари или пари, вы напишите в комментах. Вот. Не хочу я с ними заниматься просто потому, что они, сука, очень много говорят. У них капец какие длинные диалоги, и они пустые. То есть там ничего серьезного нету в этом диалоге. То есть никакого, ну, грубо говоря, там важного содержания нет. Поговорите с мадам Пин. А где мадам Пин? Ага, вижу тебя. Вот. То есть, по факту, там нет никакого такого важного диалога, но это так растянуто.
Children, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Lea Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Это что надо было сделать?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace
отдельный
creation
чайничек нам
abilities
сделает, да?
atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of
Такие
an
размеры, это
Adeptus,
всего лишь
creating a magic
безделушка.
teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I
Так,
have prepared
ишь,
for you
что же за материал
just
интересно?
That's right. Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and
Цветочек какой-то?
thither.
Или что, или
I have
кузнечик?
already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am certain. Well, for starters, I require some
Мерцающая длина
shimmer soil
тростниковых
from the banks
островов.
of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glaze. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glaze lilies. And if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of but almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since even more difficult to find is smaragdus
Изумрудный
jadeite,
нефрит у меня, по-моему, был
which must be
где-то.
chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or, in any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that... goodness knows if that...
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Gran,
Yes.
she counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say?
I'm back, Granny.
Кто это?
I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the
Янь
honors.
Фэй.
This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you've already heard of the traveler and her traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liua's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a
Было дело,
suspect
было,
following the
помним.
incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being a shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had,
Выкрутилась.
well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor.
Зевота напала
Got a
прям
legal
это.
problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount.
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this. Ever the top.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time. And then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except...
Is that so? Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some other way?
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go. Hold on a moment.
Whoa, that's a really thick...
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya Krusel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with... He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted... So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have got... Oh, you want to join me? I
Ну, я
suppose that's
не
no
очень хочу
problem,
идти, но
but it's
придется,
best if you
видимо.
just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk place...
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid... Best we be a little more careful...
Ну, честно, я говорю, я не очень хочу туда идти, но у нас выбора нет, поэтому вот это мы заберем. Вот это мы тоже заберем. И вот это мы заберем. Так. Блять, я забыл, какая кнопка у нас отвечает за... О, нашел. Оп. Слышь, нефрит... А, это не ты, да? А я что... Извините, я ошибся. О, вот там. Я тут наведем шороху. Слышь, нефрит отдавай.
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned...
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did acquire a... Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins?
Житяо.
I must apologize, I've already...
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting...
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must... In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need.
In that case, might you know where Miss Chow lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our...
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel. We'll be off now.
Получается, мы сейчас пойдем и стыбрим, да, у нее эти шпильки. Нам же изумруд нужен. Ой, нефрит этот нужен изумрудный. И нам, получается, придется в лазурный павильон. Сюда нам нет. Нам, получается, придется воровать эти шпильки. А она потом заплатит. Нормальный вариант? Нормальный. А почему бы и нет? Так. Как туда пробраться-то? Вон она. Я иду. Здрасте.
Whatever shall I do?
Потеряла. Вот 100 по 100 потеряла.
Yes, that's me.
Или
Is there something I can
сломала,
help you
или
with?
потеряла.
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hair. My associates and I are very interested.
Не
in them.
может она их
Would you mind
показать,
letting
потому
us
что
take
она
a
их
look at them?
просохатила.
The hairpins. I can't lend them
Потеряла.
to you right
Ну,
now.
Классика.
I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, My family is in the ore business too, but business has been. We now have a backlog of paid up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle, and that's what the hairpins were for, well, to keep up appearances. But now that I've lost the hairpins...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Здесь я обычно говорю, я помогу тебе.
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Monsieur Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you
А
signed?
чё?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure.
А,
I
ну
have
она
it right
юрист,
here.
я понимаю,
Here you
но...
are.
Let me see.
Сейчас найдет лазейку какую-нибудь. Запятую не там поставили.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe true. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Не думаю.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Jucho looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really
И
have
чё
to
ты
pause
задумала?
before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding
Или
those
подделку
hairpins.
сделать.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Ничего не понял.
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. However much it is, I will have to pay it. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the...
What did I feel? Well, I remember my family has seen much jade pass through it.
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few...
Блять, опять вот это туда-сюда ходить. Слышь, Кроссель, ты какие-то подделочные сделал. А где Кроссель? А, вот он. Ты подделку сделал, да? Отдал.
Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am.
I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can.
Что-то мне стали не нравиться эти задания. Я не знаю, ребят, это лично мое мнение. Как бы у всех оно свое, я понимаю. И у создателей этой игры, и у авторов тоже, видимо, было свое мнение относительно... Эй, голуби! Относительно вот этих вот всех моментов, то что сходи туда, потом сходи сразу туда, потом сразу сходи туда. И как бы весь сюжет заключается в том, что мы просто бегаем с места на место. Вместо того, чтобы драться там, да, и прочее, мы просто бегаем.
Are you...
No. What I wanted to talk about is there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hair.
Это как так?
What do you mean?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. Mr. Chow, did you at any time...
No, not at all.
Now that is strange. If I've deduced correctly, he may...
If that's the case, we should go confront him right...
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to... And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite and after that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying...
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first...
Huh?
Опять контракт.
Does there have to be a contract for... It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with the...
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot...
I understand. Then I will be
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint.
This contract has so many pages.
Зачем столько диалогов?
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract.
I've had to read through every...
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually... I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask...
Да, чтобы тоже заработать на тебе.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to... But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... I've got it. Let's pay a visit to Chateau. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would
Опять сейчас пойдем к Шитоу. Ну, пойдем к Шитоу. Хорошо, хоть он рядом.
Why, hello there, honored customer. Surely not more
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently?
A Snezhnyan merchant. I do remember that. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. He was quite generous with his money, too, so...
Do you have...
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this...
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Где? Где? Ага, вижу. Ну, видимо, это не
If my eyes don't deceive me, yes,
зеленый нефрит.
it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy.
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able to tell what it...
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding, there may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates, and I'm sure, a significant difference.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto. Why would...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take...
Miss Yenfei? Might I be so bold?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel didn't...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me.
Then I have no further questions. But...
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the...
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yenfei.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident. Just a minor issue.
With this hard evidence to back us...
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people.
Well, that was quick. How come...
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contra, but the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you...
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a... Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like...
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's...
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Я уже, знаете, думаю вернуться снова к заданиям архонтов. Ну или к заданию легенд хотя бы. Потому что у них хотя бы не такие длинные диалоги. И их не так много.
It's you. Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put a...
Crossel. Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant, but the design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, this order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed...
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Sinxie, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on. Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jadeite. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinxie.
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway.
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your...
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we...
Одно задание всего лишь. Понимаете? Всего лишь одно, блядь, задание. А беготни... Ну, я понимаю, что это ММО-РПГ. Я понимаю, все прекрасно. Сходи туда, не знаю куда, принеси то, не знаю что. Это все классика ММО-РПГ. Но все-таки... Ну, не настолько же.
Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering her. And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're...
Smaragdus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it. The Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountain. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific... I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit
That is indeed the case. If you would be...
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that... But after I gave him my reply... I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might...
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make...
You're too kind.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Ну что, Кроссель, готовь мыло, готовь жопу. А его и нету, да? А нет, вот он стоит, смотри. Ой, Андрея мне не надо. Пока. Мне нужен Кроссель. Ну что, ты готов?
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded.
Wonderful. Well then.
Of course. Mr. Crossel, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was... Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article...
Material evidence? What material evidence? Well, I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you...
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we
Подожди,
are
а
here
что,
to
надо
talk
все
about evidence,
перечислить
aren't
или
we?
надо было выбрать что-то одно?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
Из хижины Бубу. Из хижины
Oh,
Бубу.
come on. I meant the backup copy of the
Ah, не
document
то,
from
да?
the Ministry of Civil Affairs. The one we got from Sinxi of Mingsing Jewelry.
Ну вот.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is...
Our second piece of evidence didn't work.
You know, you could be right.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors?
Ну вот,
This shall serve
Бубу.
as...
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may
Почему оно в
suffer
прошлый
a
раз не
dramatic
сработало?
change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of
Знал.
Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no
Врешь,
idea.
сука.
No
Пиздишь
idea, you
косой.
say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually...
aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
А это знаете почему? Потому что скупой платит дважды.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins
Пожадничал.
was
Вот сейчас
Smaragdus nephrite.
заплатишь 10 раз.
But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a
Потому что у
wink
тебя
or
глаза
eat a
Бога
single
нету.
bite. I was in a constant state of agitation too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that that's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite and especially I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Jiqiao lost the hairpins after
Exactly. If they weren't the real deal,
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client.
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
Тогда отдай нефрит.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jiqiao, you...
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead?
Во,
I'll consider
а
us
мы его
even.
себе заберем.
What? But all right then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this
Well, that's not quite how the rules say.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again.
Well
then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think.
Well, that's that. And we've got the smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for even
The right solution depends on the objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, an adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to...
Так, идем к бабушке. Так, ладно, давай быстренько вот здесь вот сейчас пробежимся. Тут как бы не сильно далеко. Поговорим с бабушкой. Ну, пока мы бежим, я сразу скажу, что это, ну, на этом мы серию закончим. Мы сейчас добежим, поговорим, узнаем, что она нам расскажет. Узнаем, что она там расскажет про чайничек. И будем заканчивать на этом. Поэтому не забудь нажать на колокольчик, чтобы не пропустить новые серии. Подписаться желательно тоже было бы неплохо. Можно лайк поставить, ну или дизлайк, там кому как интереснее, кому как больше нравится. Ну и написать комментарий, как вам серия.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Good, good. Then we...
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for...
Oh, you. All right, then.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts, too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot.
Сейчас сразу нагорит.
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
Смотри, нагорело сразу.
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father... Ah, indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the adept Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimate... Liyue is not this... All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take...
Оп.
There we go.
А вот у нас чайничек.
This serenity pot
Кто
is
долго
all
ждал его?
yours now. Hold it
Я
firmly.
молодцы.
If you
Я
were to drop it,
дождались. Я вот
goodness,
сделал его.
Who knows what might happen? Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you...
Wait a minute, Granny! How exactly are we supposed...
Oh, you needn't worry about that.
Так, чайник безмятежности. В этом чайнике понятно, окрашенным. Ну что ж. Чайничек мы сделали. Все ссылочки, ребят, находятся в описании. На то, что еще посмотреть, на этот плейлист с Геншином, все в описании. Всем спасибо за просмотр и всем до новых встреч. Пока-пока.